y'all, what's going on? So I just wanted to come with this revelation I received yesterday. I'm in Jubilees 15 and I was reading 15:16 through, Jubilees chapter 15 verses 16 through 21. And which we all know that, and if you don't know, I'm not going to say we all know. Some of you may not know. So Jubilees is like the baby Genesis. It basically gives you an overview of Genesis from a different perspective. So anyway, so I was reading this chapter and verse, and what stuck out to me was that verse. And I'm going to read it real quick for you guys, and then I'm going to go over some notes that I ended up taking. So the scripture reads, and I'm reading from the Sefer. I don't think there's any words in there that I'm not able to pronounce, but we'll cross that path when we get there. So at 16, and I will bless her and give you a son by her, and I will bless him, and he shall become a nation, and kings of nations shall proceed from him. And Abraham fell on his face and rejoiced and said in his heart, shall a son be born to him that is 100 years old, and shall Sarah, who is 90 years old, bring forth? And Abraham said unto Elohim, oh, that Ishmael might live before you. And Elohim said, yea, how do you say? I don't know, but anyway. And Sarah also shall bear you a son, and you shall call his name, it's Isaac. I don't know how to say the Hebrew way, Yisik. And I will establish my covenant with him, an everlasting covenant, and for his seed after him. And as for Ishmael, also have I heard you, and behold, I will bless him, and make him great, and multiply him exceedingly, and he shall beget 12 princes, and I will make him a great nation. But my covenant will I establish with Isaac, whom Sarah shall bear to you in these days in the next year. Now, what stood out to me is that the promise for Ishmael was a blessing. You know what I'm saying? Mind you, Ishmael is the child that was born between Abraham and Hagar. Hagar was not his wife. You know what I'm saying? So there was no covenant there. And then there was Isaac, who was born within the covenant of marriage, right? He was given a promise of a covenant that will last for generations and for many nations. Okay. So what stood out to me was Yahuah chose Isaac as the one through whom his everlasting covenant would be established, including the land of Canaan, the formation of the nation of Israel, and the lineage leading to the Messiah. So Isaac represented faith and reliance on Yah, as his birth was entirely the result of Yah's promise. See, don't forget that Sarah was losing faith in having a child. So they stepped outside of Yah's perfect will and settled for his permissive will, and basically went their own way so that they could have so that Abraham could have a child. So they went to Hagar, the maiden, or what, maidservant, whatever they were called back then. I don't remember. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? So even though they were blessed with the child, their child was not born within the sanctity of the covenant of a marriage. So, although Ishmael was not the child of promise, Yahuah still blessed him due to his covenant with Abraham. Ishmael was promised to become the father of 12 princes and a great nation. However, Ishmael did not inherit the spiritual and covenantal promises, as these were reserved for Isaac, because again, he was born within the confinement, the sanctity of a covenant between husband and wife. So with God's permissive will, with God's perfect will, this represents God's ideal plan aligned with his divine purpose and timing. So Isaac symbolizes Yah's perfect will because he was born as part of Yah's promise and Yah's timing and within the covenant of marriage between Abraham and Sarah. Now, waiting on Yah's perfect will brings lasting blessings, peace, and fulfillment without unnecessary complications. And we can refer to Isaiah 40:31, but they who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. So then let's go over what Yah's permissive will is. And that is, this occurs when Yah allows humans to act according to their own choices, even if those choices fall outside of his perfect plan. He graces us in our ignorance, basically. Even when we go our own way and we go upon the path of free will, he'll grace us in that. Like, that doesn't necessarily, and that's his mercy. Because sometimes it can go the wrong way. Sometimes he will grace us in our ignorance, and upon his mercy, he doesn't allow it to fail. He'll give us a little something, but it's not his perfect will. So Ishmael symbolizes Yah's permissive will. His birth was a result of Sarah and Abraham's impatience and attempts to help Yah fulfill his promise. While Yah blessed Ishmael, the blessings were limited compared to the covenant with Isaac. So Yah in his grace provides for us even when we make mistakes, but the consequences of stepping outside of his will often bring struggles, division, and missed opportunities for greater blessings. So the lesson in this is, one, Yahuah graces us in our mistakes. When we step outside of Yah's perfect will, he often extends grace and provision, but we may experience consequences. Ishmael was blessed, but his birth brought tension and division to Abraham's household. So, two, we want to wait on Yah's timing, because Yah's promises require patience and faith. Abraham and Sarah's attempt to force Yah's hand with Hagar illustrates how impatience can complicate Yahuah's plan. So Yah's permissive will today, when people make decisions based on impatience, fear, or self-will, example, rushing into a relationship, career, or financial decision, Yahuah may allow these choices, but they often come with challenges. It's not going to be easy. You're going to be struggling. It could be toxic, all kind of things. You know what I'm saying? But while Yahuah's grace sustains us, the blessings are not as complete as they would be in his perfect will. So trusting in Yahuah's timing, even when it feels delayed, leads to the fullness of his blessings. Following Yah's perfect plan will ensure peace, joy, and alignment with his purpose for our lives. So the story of Isaac and Ishmael reminds us to rely on faith over human effort and to seek Yahuah's guidance in all decisions. Proverbs 3:5-6 teaches us to trust in the Lord with all of our hearts and lean not on our own understanding. So overall, Isaac and Ishmael's story serves as a timeless reminder that while Yah's permissive will allows for human error and extends grace, Yah's perfect will leads to the full realization of his promise. Free from unnecessary hardship, trusting in Yahuah's timing and plan is always worth the wait. And I know we're all guilty of this. I know I've been guilty of this. So where you feel like you don't see anything happening, therefore you put your hand in it when you're not supposed to be touching it at all. You're supposed to be seeking Yahuah's face and his instructions on how to handle certain situations. But we're impatient. So we'll do things on our own. You know what I'm saying? And we'll get a result which may seem satisfactory in that moment. But then as time goes on, you'll see the fruit of those things, and it's not a good thing. You feel what I'm saying? So in this season, I just pray that we all learn to not lean on our own understanding and forcing or trying to force, because we can't force his hand, Yahuah's hand, and settling in the permissive will. Let's all take the time to seek Yah's face, wait on him to get us to his perfect will, so we don't have to go through these stumbling blocks anymore, y'all. Like, we should all be tired of it. I know I'm tired of it. You know what I'm saying? And it's not until we actually do it, then we see, like, dog, I could have just left this alone. I ain't had to do all that. You know what I'm saying? And when we interfere, we end up having to sacrifice that thing as well. You know what I'm saying? Because we done messed it up. And sometimes in his mercy, he'll work with us, but there's other times where you just gotta release it, let it go, and let him have it. So that's all I wanted to say today. I love y'all. Mwah. Have a blessed day.